Hey everybody, and welcome back to Travel and Bourbon. Today I'm going to talk about a little trip my wife and I took down to Port Aransas, Texas, just before the end of the year. We rented a VRBO called Seaside Blessing, and it was a part of the Island Retreat condos. We picked this spot because from the second floor we could see the ocean and hear the ocean, and it was only a quick walk to the beach. The room itself was a studio the size of a large hotel room, king-size bed, what I assume was a pull-out couch, smallish bathroom, and a galley kitchen that you walk through from the entrance. Everything was clean, comfortable, and well-equipped. But really the location and view were the highlights for us. This is the path to the beach, which was cement, and then went to this boardwalk over the dunes, and then you're right down on the beach road and then to the beach. The beach always had people, but this video was shot about 5 p.m., and we had plenty of space, and it never really felt crowded. In Texas, you can drive and camp on the beach, and there were some campers out. One even had a small generator, but it wasn't too noisy, and it really didn't cause any problems. I did see a couple of these signs and did think to myself, oh, they just don't want dogs off the leash. But then, on my trip the next morning to the beach, I saw these three guys. So just go ahead and trust any signage you see. This is a time lapse of the sunrise, our last morning at Port Aransas, and definitely worth the money. Now on to some food. All right, so here are places that we ate and sort of what we thought about it. Lelos, in my opinion, is a must. Good drinks, good food, awesome vibe. It's small and kind of crowded, but definitely worth the trip. Coach's is a great little breakfast stop, although they do serve lunch there as well. However, Jennifer wasn't crazy about her French toast, but the hash browns were amazing. The portions were big. I'll go ahead and say that the service was relaxed, but super friendly and a fun vibe. Lots of memorabilia on the walls, including this red folding chair autographed by Bobby Knight. For our seafood fix, we headed over to Snoopy's. This is an old school local dive that does really good fish and chips. Lots of history with this place, and there would have been some great outdoor seating, but the weather was not great when we were there. I think it would be a great place to watch the sunset. Captain's Diner was another little place. This seemed to be a lot of locals in here, super friendly staff. The food was good and the service was good, so something to check out. Now, I really wanted to go to Donut Palace, but every place we tried to find was closed. We ended up at Andy's Country Kitchen in Corpus Christi, and it was good. Jennifer loved this French toast. I had an amazing biscuit with my eggs and sausage, and there are these cool little trains that run around the dining room. Okay, forgive the difference in sound quality here. I almost forgot fins, and how can you forget fins when the drink looks so much like what's on the menu? This was another great restaurant with some great seafood, but I had a wonderful burger, and these onion strings alone were worth the trip. Coffee Waves is a really cool little coffee shop if you're looking to get your coffee fix. By the way, we did end up finding a Donut Palace eventually, and their sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits were amazing, as well as their donut holes. While you're in the area, definitely drive out to the Padre Island National Seashore. They've got a nice little visitor center, and you can drive right on the beach. Once you get it past about a mile on the beach, it does say you need to have a four-wheel drive with high clearance. I declared that this little Jeep Compass that we rented fit that description. I'm not sure if the 4x4 truck crowd was impressed or disgusted, but we got several looks. Here you can find a lot of beach to yourself. There's no cell service, so prepare to unplug, but there are lots of cool birds, great opportunities to find seashells, and see other wildlife. Now, there are plenty of different places to shop. And my suggestion won't matter much because even though I'm going to tell you that the shops that have the large, elaborate shark entrances are crowded with way too much merchandise and you can barely make your way through, and they really need some renovation and they kind of smell like bong water, how can you not stop and walk through a shark? But take my advice. If you've walked through one shark, you've walked through them all. So do yourself a favor and find a shop with the word Islander in the name. For my money, I think there are basically two companies. Companies that have large sharks on their doors and ones that have the word Islander in the name somewhere. Those are the better shops. Spoiler alert, I walked through every single one of those sharks. On the bourbon side of this trip, seriously, Texans, can you please leave the Midwest some E.H. Taylor small batch? I saw cases of this stuff everywhere, and we can't get it here. So just let us have some of it. But I did come home with these two. They were in a bundle at a nice little liquor store called Liquid Town. I would say that the best luck I had was the worse the store looked, the more allocated bourbon was inside. I hope some part of this video helped you out on your trip to Port Aransas, Texas.